projet porté par l'université vise à créer une dynamique autour d'un écosystème entrepreneurial. Mes recherches portent d'ailleurs sur la question des écosystèmes, leurs conditions d'émergence, leur durabilité et leur performance. Nous étudions les relations qu'il peut exister entre les différents acteurs de l'écosystème. Ce peut être des incubateurs, des financeurs, des sociétés qui sont chargées de l'accompagnement. Dans le cadre de l'Agritech Park proposé par l'Université de Maurice, l'enjeu est de faire émerger une dynamique d'entrepreneuriat auprès des étudiants et auprès des chercheurs. Ce projet est en phase de discussion, de réflexion. Durant mon visiting à l'île Maurice, j'ai eu l'occasion de rencontrer avec Brinda Romosomi une dizaine d'acteurs et d'organiser un focus group qui va nous permettre de mieux préciser les objectifs de ce nouvel outil et de définir les actions qui seront mises en œuvre. Actions d'accompagnement, en particulier la cible et les étudiants entrepreneurs, donc inciter des étudiants à développer des projets d'entrepreneuriat et leur proposer à la fois des conditions d'hébergement, des conseils et un soutien. L'enjeu est aussi d'accueillir des chercheurs qui souhaitent développer des spin-off académiques. Et enfin, nous souhaitons ouvrir cet espace aux entreprises pour qu'elles puissent mettre à disposition de l'université des problématiques sous forme de challenge qui pourront réunir des étudiants et des chercheurs et qui pourront contribuer à faire évoluer ces entreprises, que ce soit des SMI, PME ou des grandes entreprises. Donc Agritech Park constitue un véritable enjeu et constitue une porte vers l'avenir pour l'Université de Maurice.
As we all know, climate change is impacting all our lives, either directly or indirectly. It affects our health, it affects our food, it affects the crops we grow, it affects the livestock animals, it affects all aspects in one way or the other. We have a large number of pests and diseases which affect our crops. There's also the increase in temperature. There's also the pattern of rainfall which is changing, and all of these have major impacts on the crops we grow. It creates lots of difficulties for the farmers, and they face the challenges of climate change on a day-to-day basis. And me and my team, we are actually trying to help farmers to adapt to these changes, to make them more resilient, and also to make agriculture more sustainable so that the food that we eat is safer. Also, the practices don't affect the environment negatively, and also the practices don't release too many greenhouse gases which contribute to global warming and to climate change. We have a large number of measures that we have developed for this. In fact, this is an approach that is known as climate smart agriculture, and we have actually received funding from the European Union to about 15 million rupees over a 3-year period to develop and to inculcate these climate smart agriculture practices in a group of planters in Belmont. So we are working very closely with the Mauritius Agricultural Marketing and Cooperative Federation, the MAMCEF, and with 15 farmers in Belmont who will act as our demonstration farmers. And we will develop these techniques in their fields together with them, and these will serve as demonstration plots for the other farmers in Belmont. Measures for improving the soil health and fertility without the use of synthetic fertilizers, which as we know are harmful to our health and to the environment and also contributes to climate change. We'll also be teaching them about techniques to control pests and diseases in an environmentally friendly way, in a way that does not use too many pesticides. And similarly, we are going to tell them about planting techniques where they will not make use of too much of water or energy. And all of these will help to make our agriculture more environmentally friendly, more sustainable, and climate resilient.
My main research area involves prospecting endemic plants for valorization of resources, and also trying to address specific goals, including, for example, mainly the Sustainable Development Goals as established by the 2030 agenda in 2015 by the United Nations. Mauritius is quite rich in resources, in plant resources, and so what we've been working on lately are, for example, endemic aloes. All of you know about the aloe vera, so the aloe vera is very common, but it's not endemic to Mauritius. So we've worked mainly on endemic aloes which exist only in Mauritius, and which we've seen have been quite interesting potential, for example, cancer treatment. They can have anti-cancer properties, they can have also protective actions against diseases of the old age people, for example, Parkinson, Alzheimer, etc. We have been able to secure funding from international sources, including the European countries, International Center for Biotechnology and Engineering from Italy, and also from local sources. And this has enabled us to train students, postdocs, MSc students, and also PhD students. We've also published in a lot of different international journals. And eventually, what we find important as well is not only to exploit those resources which exist locally, but also to make sure that this exploitation is sustainable. So we use, for example, tissue culture technologies to make sure that the plants that we are working on, if ever they are threatened, if we don't have many of them in the wild, in nature, in our reserves, so we grow them in the lab under specific conditions using tissue culture techniques and micropropagation technology to make sure that we can re-establish them and have a sustainable way to exploit them. I have also one PhD student who's working on how you can minimize the use of antibiotics, for example, or chemicals in animal feed. And what we're working on mainly are the algae, seaweeds that exist on the shores of Mauritius, which are known, especially, for example, in China. They've done a lot of work to characterize what these algae contain, and they contain a lot of compounds which have got antibiotic properties.